Hello, my name is Ash, a counselor in training. This is my Relatable study podcast for individuals who need help studying for their NCE, CPCE, and other related counseling exams. I'm going to go through many questions from multiple resources and make the answers relatable to both you and me. So get your listening ears on and let's get studying. What is noncompliance in regards to treatment? Noncompliance is when clients refuse or fail to follow the treatment recommendations. Few examples of noncompliance is when clients refuse to do their CBT homework or engage in therapeutic activities within a group. I remember when I was a mental health technician a few years ago, when I tried to do games or activities with the residents at the hospital, some of them flat out refused to participate within the activity and either sat in the corner or went and sat out in the hallway. Schaffer and Emerson observed children from multiple attachments of caring levels. They describe 4 stages of attachment, which occurs during the asocial stage. A. An infant indiscriminately enjoys human interaction and prefers social interactions. B. An apprehension of strangers and separation anxiety develops at this stage. C. An infant smiles more at familiar people. D. An infant responds to pleasure stimuli in humans and objects alike. The answer is D. An infant responds to pleasure stimuli of humans and objects alike. During the asocial stage, rather than being indifferent to their interactions, infants do not show a strong preference for any one person or any objects that are similar. Usually, the asocial aspect is from 0 to 6 weeks old with infants, and because these infants are very young, they will respond to many different kinds of stimuli, both in a non-social and social aspect, and produces more favorable reactions, such as giggling or smiling. What is non-directive counseling according to Rogers? Non-directive counseling is a counseling approach where counselors will provide empathy and support, but allows the client to lead. The counselor will sit back and track and follow the client with what they are saying, and it involves active listening to the client without directing any of their actions, and empowers the client to explore and understand any topics that they want to explore without the fear of judgment from the counselor. For example, this podcast or other podcasts, for example, you are actively listening to them, letting the host explore topics that you are interested in, but you are sitting back, actively listening, maybe pondering a few questions, potentially asking through comments, so on and so forth. One major category of career theory is known as the trait factor, also called the trait and factor approach. It has been dubbed the actuarial or matching approach. This approach, A, attempts to match consciousness and unconscious work motives. B, attempts to match the worker and the work environment job factors. The approach thus makes the assumption that there is one best or single career for the person. C, attempts to match career behaviors with attitudes. D, attempts to match cognition with the workload. The answer is B. The trait and factor approach attempts to match the worker to the work environment, the job factors. This approach thus makes the assumption that there is one best or single career for the person. I would recommend looking into the trait and factor approach because there is so much information on how to apply this approach in a therapeutic setting, especially in career theory, where theorists try to match workers and their environment. What is the non-maleficence ethics principle? Non-maleficent is referred to as no harm principle, which is the ethical obligation to avoiding harm to the clients. And within the code of ethics, it is an obligation not to put clients at risk of harm without protection. Some examples may include informing the clients of their rights, confidentiality, and their consent forms. That is all 5 questions for this episode. Thank you for listening. Keep calm and study on.